It might just take a minute. I'm gonna refresh and see.
Um, Working.
Let's see. Yeah, we are
Currently,
we are live.
Champion Select is not streaming. Um, that's
Interesting,
interesting.
interesting.
So I guess we're just going to talk about Champion Select because unfortunately we can't actually see it right now, which is
All
very,
right,
very
well,
strange.
I'll just talk about it then. Blue side has banned Zack, Makai, and Corki, whereas red side is banning Cho'Gath, Caitlyn, and Syndra. Now, it's odd
Really
that
strange.
blue side is banning the Zack. It's normally a red side ban because it can be easily a first pick, but just Call Me Frost might not be playing that, so uh, he might not have practice on it, which is why he's probably not picking it up. But Blue side has first picked Bard, which is an interesting thing to first pick. There are so many other things that um, should be picked up before Bard, but maybe 20 Tyler 20 is a god on Bard and really needs it. You never know.
Well, we're kind of just gonna sort of lay this in here. It's not actually the right size, but we're
Oh
working with
boy.
this. Don't worry. We're gonna make this
We're-
work.
We'll make it work. Don't worry.
Give us just a second.
Professional, professional.
Professional league casting. Don't worry. It'll all be fine. Eventually we'll have it down. And this is actually kind of fit for the old band system, so some of these bands will be slightly cut off, I think, but shouldn't be too bad in the end.
Yeah, it might be a little off, but we can talk you through it. Zeta will be positioning that while I talk about Champ Select. But um,
Yeah.
Red Side picking up the Orianna and Janna, which are two extremely strong picks in the meta right now, especially Janna. Janna actually in the LCK is being played with Flash and Heal because of Ardent Sensor. Um, and the AD carry usually takes Flash and Barrier, or sometimes Flash Exhaust, depending on the champion. Just because Ardent Sensor is absolutely busted right now. It gives about 3,000 gold worth of stats to the person that you're shielding or healing. It's pretty insane. And Orianna is just a really good protected carry champion, and she's a carry herself, so it's kind of that good middle ground. But blue side grabbing the Evelynn for Just Call Me Frost, very clearly alluding to the fact that he doesn't play meta champions, which confuses me. But Garbage Fire playing Xerath here. It's a really good poke champion to deal with some long range AD carries, but Blinding Vision locking in the Jax, likely for the top lane for worse than me. But going to the second round of bans, we're going to see what Red Side starts off with. And you guys aren't going to be able to see that, but I will very happily talk you through it.
Yeah, the bands are kind of all the way up here. We can sort of make that work, probably. Okay, there we go. It's
We can
mostly
figure
in.
it out.
The
Oh,
overlay is not cooperating currently.
I think I understand your problem, actually. I think you have the old stream packet.
Well, that would be the truth because I don't have Studio on this computer.
I
I'm
see.
running
Yeah.
Classic, so we're working with what we've got so far.
Yeah. It's tough. It's a tough situation, but you can see most of it.
We will have that
The
fixed before
Jarvan,
the next game, but
yes, we will do some testing off stream and figure it out for you guys. Don't worry. But we have Jarvan and Silver banned out by Red Side, and Tristana and we'll know in about 4 seconds. Draven banned. Man, these picks and bans from Blue Side are a little bit odd to me. The Draven ban I understand because Janna and Orianna can be really solid um, protect the AD carry champions, and Draven is one of those carries that you want to protect, and so is Tristana. But they're just gonna looks like Red Side's gonna pick up the Jhin here, and yeah, they pick up the Jhin, which means that it's gonna be another protect the AD carry comp with that Orianna and Janna, but Jhin isn't really like the hyper carry, super high attack speed champion that you really want to have all these shields and stuff on. They could have picked up something like the Jinx or the Kog'Maw, but they just didn't. They left it by the wayside, and that's gonna leave Ashe to pick up for Corazon on the blue side, and The top lane pick is the last one for blue side. Hovering over the Fiora would be a good split pusher against Jax. And they do lock it in. Fiora can actually win out the 1v1 against Jax because of that repost. And because she can riposte the stun, which stuns Jax in return, and it's just she gets free vitals off on him, and that true damage really helps because Jax gets a lot of that HP, and she can just dash around him and, excuse me, make him cry inside. And the Warwick, the pickup for the jungle for red side. Warwick is just going to be a nice solid front line. There are quite a few picks that were left up in this champ select, but we're not going to go over what was left. We're going to go over what is here. So it looks like um, blue side have a good split push comp and a good wave clear comp. The 1-3-1 or the 1-4 of blue side is going to be really powerful. Fiora is just going to be able to split push against this Jax, usually with no problem unless she gets really far behind. Evelynn can flank, and then the three-man of Xerath, Ashe, and Bard is going to be able to hold off towers and wave pushes really well. Xerath is just going to be able to use that long-range Q, clear out waves really easily, and Ashe can CC anyone that tries to come in on them, and Bard has his ult. That being said, the red side has a really good dive slash protect the carry comp, which is a little odd to me because you have two champions, one in the Jax who wants to do two things. He wants to dive and he wants to split push, and then the Warwick is a frontline that wants to dive in. But the Jhin, the Janna, and the Orianna are gonna want to stay back and just let the Jhin kind of do his thing. So there's probably gonna be some miscommunications on when to go in here, but we'll see how it plays out.
Well, I've temporarily fixed it, so we're able to evaluate this as we go into the game proper. But I
Yes.
wanted to ask you specifically, because we did manage to see that Xerath got picked up, Fiora got picked up. Even though this has been described to some as the resurgence of the tank meta, we don't see too many tanky champions here. So, do you think that's as a result of player comfort with the champions, or are these comps specifically designed to not need tanks?
I think with the champions that I picked up here, it is mostly about player comfort. The Evelynn isn't entirely meta right now. She can do pretty well, but she falls behind on some of the other damage junglers and falls behind to some of the tanky junglers, since she doesn't provide that hard CC and a hard front line for the enemy team to bash their head into. Same kind of idea with Xerath. There are other long-range champions that can clear waves, like Talia and Ziggs, that just do a much better job than Xerath. The Ashe, Fiora, and Bard are pretty meta. The Bard is a little off meta, but that's okay. I saw Ashe picked a couple times today in NALCS, but um, yeah, I honestly think blue side is mostly about comfort, whereas red side is a lot about meta. So we'll see what wins out here.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, we have seen, quite a few Oriannas. Jax, of course, definitely the most popular uh, top lane split push as of the moment, but he has also been flexed towards the jungle, so, he's got that comfort, he's got flexibility, he's got power. It's pretty much everything that you want. The Warwick, I'm a little bit concerned about, he who hunts, but it's not that far off the mark. It is tanky. It is a CC reliant champion. It does provide initiation, so it fills that role for TEH. But it doesn't guarantee it. It's not like this is a guaranteed, strong, super heavy front line. It's just a Warwick. You don't have like the dual Galio plus Gragas, or you don't have Sejuani or a Zac or anything of that, sort of tankiness level. And
Yeah.
as a result, I mean, they could fall slightly behind, but you said, it's about that early game. Do you think the Evelynn's going to have enough power to set this Warwick far behind?
Now, I haven't seen the matchup between Evelynn and Warwick too often, primarily because I haven't seen many Evelyns lately. But I do believe that if Evelynn can take the jungle camps away from Warwick and get his pressure off of the map and instate hers as much as she can, there can be a lot of power in this Evelynn pick. But Warwick is just going to be able to outduel her, is the thing. Warwick has that heal, that attack speed, and a lot of damage, and he's just going to be able to kill Evelynn in her own jungle or his jungle or wherever he sees her. And Evelynn tends to get a little bit low early on, so he'll be able, if he starts that W fairly early, he can see where she is. That's one thing that people don't uh, people tend to underestimate about Warwick is knowing where low health enemies are, primarily the jungler. You'll be able to see that line to the enemy jungler no matter where you are, as long as you have that ability. And that includes an invisible champion like Evelynn. So we'll see how that plays out in this game, though.
Yeah, as we are finally loading onto the Rift for week 1 of our show matches. We're just taking a little bit to make sure that everything fits on the screen. I'm not sure it does, but you
You're
know,
killing me, Zeta.
I'm killing myself apparently. It's killing me, Smalls. It's it's not working
Now,
out right now. But
looking at the mastery level on these players, it does seem like um, demos on 0 2 Heroes Fiora. He does have Mastery 7 on that, which seems more like a comfort pick than anything else. But Just Call Me Frost's Evelynn is tier 6, which means that does bode to me that is a comfort pick more than anything.
yeah, and currently we do have them onto and in the Rift. So for the Chad Crushers, we've got 0 to Hero subbing in at the top lane. Just Call Me Frost in the jungle. Garbage Fire at mid. Korzad at AD carry, and 20 Tyler 20 at support.
And on the red side, we have Worse Than Me. In the jungle, we have O Freak O. Mid lane, we have Blinding Vision. AD carry, we have TY00100100. And support, we have Jasper2684. They need to stop with the numbers.
Yeah, the Event Horizon definitely has quite a few numbers to their name, but
Yes, they do.
this time it's a little bit different. You know, we've got a very standard jungle, very standard starts, very safe starts. You know, no invades for vision even. There's the farthest up vision we have is a ward in, you know, the pixel bush in the bottom river, but
Yeah.
I mean that's not even that aggressive.
Yeah, that's not really too aggressive. That's just kind of a safe word, if you ask me. That's the, hey, I want to make sure I know kind of where the enemy laners are starting, what the jungler is starting, hopefully get a little bit and see if we can catch out the jungler on the early start, but probably not going to happen. We are going to see Evelynn start Raptors, which is really good for her. Her Q does really well clearing that out, and a lot of this top lane is going to be focused entirely around the vitals from Fiora, and a lot of the RNG of where those spawn is going to determine a lot about how this lane goes, and if Worse Than Me can play around that. So you see that he has that vital on the top side of him, and uh, he stays close to Fiora while he has that. But he makes a mistake there by getting close when it's on the left side of him. But
Yeah, and it's about, you know, kind of waiting. Oh, big engage. 0 to Hero might be trying for the kill now. Worse than me. Very low. Flashing the other side, trying to proc that last vital. Can he get it down? Another flash by the Jax. Actually gets out and safe, but barely. The skin of his teeth. Both flashes now down. 0 to Hero. Still playing aggressively. He wants this kill, but as the vital swaps, he has to counter-strike. Doesn't get the kill, though. Neither does the stun proc. And that trait, actually, the late proc of the Counter-Strike didn't stun the Fiora, but it didn't get the Jax stunned either, so Worse Than Me playing around that. He doesn't realize that the Evelynn's coming in, though, and Just Call Me Frost could be turning this from a 2v1 into a 2v0. Worse Than Me doesn't spot her out. Now he does, but is there time to get away? The Counter-Strike actually gets him to safety as he leap strikes to a ward. Well played, sir.
Worse Than Me playing that really well. He just uses his Counter-Strike as more of a zoning tool rather than an engage tool, and that's one of the ways you can tell a good Jax player from a mediocre one is knowing that the Counter-Strike can stun 2 enemies at once and using that to disengage, to zone, and to get out of there. But 0 to Hero trying here.
Yeah, he's really trying to bait out that Counter-Strike into a riposte stun. Worse Than Me might have lagged out here. He actually goes down for first blood. Very curious first blood there after so much committed. Now, Oh Freak made his way into the bot side. 20 Tyler is asked him to back away as he flashes, and the heal is burned. Korzad might have committed that a little bit too early, but 0 to Hero has already teleported into the bot lane as he's stopped by a tornado and the root. This is a very aggressive play. Some damage done, but is it enough? I don't think so. More action in the mid lane. Just Call Me Frost. He's trying to capitalize on this blinding vision. Blind to the fact that there's an Evelynn lurking in that lane. Does not go down to the Arcano Pulses from Xerath.
That was a solid barrier from blinding vision. It was very possible that he could have died, although Zareth missed that Arcano Pulse. So there was very little risk of him dying after that missed, but he just used his barrier just to be safe, didn't give over the kill. Only one kill going on so far, and I'm pretty sure worse than me lag there, so um, unfortunate, but sometimes to be expected. And
Ooh.
blinding vision just gets poked out.
Yeah, that's the problem with staying near the Xerath, you know. We talked about, you know, the power of the Xerath. Oh, stunned the pot lane, rooted up,
Ooh.
almost brought down. Korzad does not have heal, keep in mind. He used that last fight. Be careful, but here's the riposte. That's what we're talking about with this stun combo.
Oh.
And Just Call Me Frost has made his way back up top as well. Look at this, the 2v1 combo. But does he have the damage? No, he does not. Or the health to stay alive. He cannot bring anyone down with him as he falls for a second time. This roaming Evelynn putting so much pressure to the top side.
That's what you want to do as Evelynn. You have that pressure just because you are an invisible champion. Wards only matter if they are put on your camps and they see you directly. But with that, you can just gank lanes over and over again, and they're not going to know where you are. You have a pretty good base movement speed, so you can just walk around. But it looks like Freak is looking for something, but he's not going to get it. This Fiora is at 3/4 HP, 3/4 mana, and he has no mana, just a bit over half HP, so there's nothing really going to happen there. But worse than me not having a good time in this lane, it's going to be pretty difficult for him. Especially with the kill and the assist going over to that Fiora. She's going to be able to get to her items faster than he can. You see that Fiora went back and bought that Tiamat, whereas all Worse Than Me has is a Corrupting Potion and a Mana Crystal to his name. That's real unfortunate for him. He is 4 CS up because he got to that wave, but the kill and the assist is going to be really difficult for him to overcome in this situation.
Yeah, and especially talking about the fact that this Evelynn has been so aggressive at just pushing the lead. If he does try to overcommit, if he does, you know, see Zero to Hero is low, if he does see Garbage Fire is low, he has to worry, you know. This Evelynn could be lurking around the corner at any point.
Yeah, this Evelynn does pretty well. The amount of pressure that she puts on the map is pretty intense just because you can't see where she is. You never know where she's going to be, and pink wards and wards on her camps are the only way you're going to see her. And you see here that Worse Than Me doesn't know if Evelynn is here, and Zero to Hero is playing around that really well. He's playing that extra little bit aggressive, partly because he has that lead, and partly because he knows how Evelynn works. But he's
Partly
just
because he has
here.
this stun combo. I mean, just talk about the damage. It's all there. The grand challenge secures the Jax kill, and that, I mean, even though he had to burn Flash there, I mean, perfectly knowing exactly when he had to commit, how much damage he had to do. Stun from Bard lands. Maybe they're going to go on to tie. Korzad, though, very low. I don't think he can risk taking the fight, considering 4th auto is up and his heal is not. Oh, 3rd auto technically, but now it's 4th, and now comes the risk. Garbage Fire, another stun in the mid lane. There's just action across the map. Blinding Vision could find himself in a little bit of a pickle here with all of the damage and poke being laid out. But Freak, where is he? Where is he responding? Getting a ward, not good enough right now.
Yeah, contesting that vision isn't going to be good enough because he almost dies. He's probably going to die to Bard here.
No, it's close, and
Nope.
he actually turns it around. Oh, Tyler has brought him down, but this is in exchange for the Evelynn, who has come in trying to clean up the 2v2. They have to back off eventually, but that was an overcommitment that led to a kill for a kill. I mean, a kill for kill trade, definitely in the favor of the Event Horizon because they need every kill that they can muster. Currently, though, it's just a 2-0 Fiora, 2-0 Evelynn, 1-0 Xerath. This top side of the map doing so incredibly well, and the bot side's not getting punished hard enough for this Evelynn's over-aggression.
Yeah, the Warwick needs to start ganking in the bot lane some more and getting some kills down for their AD carry and their support. They can use the pressure that they have knowing about where the Evelynn might try and be, knowing that the top lane is already winning. Evelynn's going to try and go mid and bot now, because there's almost no way Jax win this matchup. Because you just see here how much damage Fiora can do basically for free.
And
And
not to mention, I mean, it's a level advantage. There's Tiamat already built. The Jax built Saf Crystal instead of any kind of a defensive item or trading potential. You know, this isn't building into a Phage. This isn't building into even like Boots. I think Boots would have been extremely helpful, Tabi, in reducing that damage. But Zero to Hero just, you know, taking him to school, showing him exactly how much and how well he can do it. And another grand challenge, but here comes the Freak ultimate. He might go off on this, though. Here comes that engage, turning it around. Blinding Vision saves his carries and saves his jungler as well, but that's barely enough to keep them alive. Can they get more out of this? They're looking for the blue buff now as Jasper gets chased down. Tyler 20. 20/20 vision in this Bard. Prescient looking for that final
Oh,
Arcano Pulse, does not get the damage. It connected,
Zareth has ult though.
but it was just barely enough HP to live through.
That was so little HP. That was double-digit HP on this Janna from Jasper. But you see Zero to Hero getting a little too aggressive, thinking he can 1v2, and he might have been able to if Blinding Vision hadn't come as well. I think he could have 1v2 there if he had gotten that Grand Challenge heal down. And he can easily 1v1 the Jax after he 1v1s the Warwick. And it was all down to
He
that
even got the
mid lane
stun,
fight.
like the riposte stun landed perfectly onto the
Yep.
Jack, so he had time to kill the work off. And then the Orianna came in, and the Orianna ball gave that extra little bit of damage, pushed it over the edge. It's just, but Blinding Vision, I mean, talk about taking damage in the poke war. This is the example. This is, I think, example extraordinaire is just Zareth and how much he does to anybody that's in lane, especially if you don't repeat gank him. Because he hasn't even been forced to blow flash, let alone exhaust yet. Another riposte, perfectly timed. Now Zero to Hero could be looking for a dive, does not choose to do so. Now we find our Evelynn in the bot lane, and Arrow comes through, but nobody's taking the tunnel. Now they have to do this engage very, very soon, but the stun lands, and so does the Evelynn ultimate. All of the damage is being poured through as Frost with the Ignite picks up a kill in the bot lane, worse than me. Still dancing under his turret, the riposte doesn't need to be used right now. The dashing and dancing around. One more auto will do it. Zero to Hero, and you need to find it before you go down to the turret, and he does. Grand Challenge heals him up in the end before he finds himself falling to the might of the Jax and the MVP turret. That Hero trying to save his champion as he withers away underneath it.
Yep, that was the power of Fiora with a Tiamat. It's just so difficult for Jax to even be under tower. Because Fiora can just put the Grand Challenge on him, heal up from it, and deal a lot of damage. But
Another engage in the mid lane. I mean, we're finding Blinding Vision. Already used Shockwave. Nearly sombreros it, but brings the Evelynn in. Just doesn't get the damage to kill her off. And if you have to use Shockwave, you need to be using the barrier as well. That defensive summoner exists for a reason. Does not pop it. Goes down anyway to the ult of Zareth. And I just gotta say, I mean, I'm expecting a little bit more out of this Orianna. I think that it's a pretty decent matchup, but she's just getting outranged and outpressured at every turn.
Yep, Zareth is just going to be able to wave clear and land poke at the same time. It's difficult for Orianna to do much in this lane. All she can do is wait for the wave to get pushed into her and try and wave clear. But you see that Garbage Fire is playing around that really well. He understands the matchup. He understands what Orianna wants to do here. And he knows that he just needs to poke out this Orianna before the wave gets to tower. Because he can wave clear way faster than Orianna can. It's one ability compared to two. And he can put that pressure on the mid tower, try and get Freak to gank his lane, and try and get Orianna to back or die. And you see that Orianna has now died twice. And that damage that comes through from the Evelynn is not to be scoffed at early. Although Warwick should be able to do it, but we get an Asher Arrow coming in.
This could be Jasper going down instantly. The Bard damage combining. Here comes another ultimate, and Zero to Hero is already teleported into the mix of the fight. Freak, you know there's no sombrero. He has to turn and ult out, but he cannot live through it. Tyler picks up the second kill of the fight as the Jax dashes in. The Fiora goes in as well. The turret dive has commenced, and TCC are just running through the members of the event horizon. Nobody's going to be left alive except for the Jhin as he ults to try and slow down Korzot. It's not enough. They're going to go for the turret.
Wow, that was a really good fight, except if you're winning right now, you don't want to be trading kills. That was a 3 for 2, but that 2 was not necessary. You did not need to dive that far. After you got that free kill on the Janna and that free kill on the Warwick, you go back around through the jungle towards that mid lane turret rather than dive it, and you just get that tower for free instead of dying.
Yeah, and if they get the turret for free, I mean, you said it yourself, that's absolutely, immense, but do you think it might signal that, TEH have a chance they can slip back into this game possibly?
Yes, I do think there is quite a real possibility that they can win this game. Seems like Zero to Hero and Just Call Me Frost are getting a little antsy to push their advantage even further, and they're doing so, and they get a tower out of it, but they do give up 2 kills for basically no reason. They easily could have just wrapped back around and grabbed that tower for free and grabbed the dragon without dying. And if Just Call Me Frost hadn't died there, then they could have taken all the objectives they wanted rather than having to wait to take those objectives later or give them up. Uh, so that being said, Zero Hero is going to go back in this lane because there's absolutely no way Jax can answer a split pushing Fiora when she has Tiamat, Phage, and Kindle Gem. She's going for Black Cleaver as her next item rather than finishing out the Ravenous or Titanic Hydra. And Jax is really far behind. All he has is a Sheen and Phage here. It's pretty tough for him to be anywhere near. You see Just Call Me Frost waiting in the wings too.
Yeah, and they're just trying to bait out the engage. Another perfect riposte into Grand Challenge
Oh,
instantly slays the Grand Champion. I mean, the Duelist versus the Champion, we know which one wins it as of now, especially with this big of a lead. Blinding Vision could be the next one to fall under turret, dancing around. He has ultimate to his name, and here comes in the Warwick. They have damage, and the Sombrero bringing them back down actually chases out Zero to Hero the riposte to try and get him free as he dashes back in to finish off a kill. Blinding Visions now is the one who has to put on his blue suede shoes as he's moving left, right, and center. Does not get brought down. And Garbage Fire is left to shove in the turret.
again, Just Call Me Frost getting a little too aggressive, not being as decisive as he needs to be under tower. You can't hesitate under tower. You have to either go hard or go out. And he got a little bit punished there for it. The Sombrero from Blinding Vision getting the kill there, but you
Technically
see
not
that
a
this...
sombrero because he did land it, but it was straight
Oh,
on
okay.
his hat. You know,
Alright,
he's wearing that.
Either way, this Jax just can't answer Fiora anymore. There's absolutely no way that Jax wins this 1v1. Even according to lore, Fiora wins out against Jax. So you're seeing that played out here.
I actually can't remember where in the lore is it that Fiora beat the Jax, because the only things I remember with Jax is that he came to the Halls of Justice wielding no weapon because they were all kind of inferior, and then he kind of pulled the lamp off. And then there's something about, trading in the bot lane. Ty is actually getting kind of aggressive, but there's something about, reworking lore. Did they already do that? Is that where this is coming from?
They did a little bit of it. They did a little mini story about Jax challenging people on a bridge, and I can't remember where exactly this bridge was, but it talks about a mysterious figure coming up to challenge Jax on this bridge, and this mysterious figure spoke with a French accent. And the
Yo,
only...
we baguette. But here comes the ultimate. The dropping of the curtain signals the beginning of the end, or does it? Because Jasper's the one that's finding his end here. Blinding Vision, he gets an ult on too, but he does not stand a chance against so much damage. Just Call Me Frost is ready to bring the pain, and they bring one down, they bring two down, but they don't get the third. Ty escapes with his life as the teleport comes out from Worse Than Me. Little bit late on that one, has to cancel it out.
20 Tyler 20 on point with these Bard ultimates. Oh no.
Oh, that's it. I mean,
Feels bad.
he's just burning him along with the rest of the garbage right now, just taking him and throwing him into his sacks of money. This has been, I think, almost a slaughter. Getting him this Zareth is absolutely insane.
Yeah, this Zara has been really good. He's playing the role really well of just damage and poke and that little bit of CC, and he's just doing it really, really well back and forth. The only real hope I see for Red Side here is the outward aggression of this Fiora and Evelynn. It can be punished by this team. You see Blinding Vision landing that shockwave down bot side.
Yep.
And that was a really good shockwave. There just wasn't enough damage for them.
Yeah.
They need to start clearing waves, taking these fights only when it's favorable for them, and getting in a position where they can win these fights without much of a contest from the blue side.
Speaking of it being favorable, do you think that the fact that they actually had a bush to hide in from Curtain Call was a big factor in that fight? Because you said it yourself that there's not enough damage with the shockwave. Would that have been enough had those shots been able to land from that Curtain Call?
Yes, I do believe that the Jin angling his curtain call the proper way would have been very beneficial, because you saw that there was that one bush that they could fit in that made it so that you could sit in that bush and not be seen by the curtain call. Now, if he had managed to hit it a couple times in there, and if Blinding Vision had gotten that shockwave on 3 members rather than 2, there might have had a chance to win that fight there. And that was a small misplay that led into a big advantage going in the favor of blue side here. So we'll see if that can be translated into understanding the mistakes and being able to fix those later. Ty really needs to aim those curtain calls the proper way, because if we see any 360 no scope curtain calls this game, I'm going to be really sad.
Yeah, and remember, it's a 360 no scope. You come all the way back around and put it in front of you. It's not a 180 no scope. So
Exactly.
practice up on your interventions. Make sure you know exactly how much 360 degrees is before you go and try out your skills on the American Sniper. Or else
Yes.
you're going to end up in a YouTube highlight reel, and nobody wants to be in a YouTube highlight reel.
Nobody ever wants to be in the YouTube highlight reel.
Technically, it's a low
I
light
mean,
reel. But,
I guess
you know,
so.
besides the
I
point.
mean,
20
if
Tyler
you're the
20
one,
actually gets jumped on very uncharacteristically. He's finding himself out of position and ulting himself down. Not going to be enough as that short tunnel only leads to his doom. Worse than me, though.
unfortunate.
I mean, getting kills is good, but he can't stop this viewer. I don't think there's any way he can stop this viewer unless they bring multiple members. And if they commit multiple members, they could easily lose other turrets in this trade.
Yep, they are going to send multiple members up here for this Fiora, though. With that being said, they don't have the consistent hard CC, and Fiora's just going to spot out the Jax. Might be able to kill him early.
Oh, but he holds the counter-strike and gets the challenge. Out and about is the Fiora, looking to escape now, but Freak is on the chase, and he's hunting her down. Leaps forward, misses it out as the dash comes over the wall. A good escape from Zero to Hero. Wastes the Warwick ultimate, and a big part of the engage for TEH.
That was an unfortunate misstole by Freak. Oh man, those Arcano Blasts doing so much damage.
Maybe the
Oh
ultimate will
no.
do more, though. Jasper has to turn tail and run for the hills because he is getting punished by this Xerath. So much damage, 3-0 and 4, but 2 items. Void Staff and Morello is all you really need on that champion. I mean, it hasn't changed in 3 seasons, but it doesn't matter. He puts out all of the poke damage, and there's nobody here to stop him.
At 21 minutes as a Xerath, that's all you really need. You can just land all that CC basically for free. You're not gonna get engaged on because they're so far away. The only person on red side that can really get to him is this Warwick, but he can't walk up because he's just gonna die. There's just
And he
so
can't
much
ult
pressure.
because he used it on the Fiora.
Exactly, he missed that ult on the Fiora. He really needs to land those when it's critical like that. But Xerath is able to just clear out these waves, wave after wave, minion after minion, being slaughtered by these Arcano pulses. This,
Rift Herald's
this,
in the top side now.
yep.
Could lead to a down turret, but more likely it's going to be pressuring towards the mid. They actually are all rotating up top. Very surprising, but Zero to Hero is really trying to engage as he gets a perfect riposte, bringing down 1. They're going to look for 2. Freak already having fallen. Now it's 3 versus 5. What can TEH do as he's stunned against the wall? Brilliant engage from Tyler 2020. The double kill, the triple kill could be coming in. It is a triple kill, the quadra kill just around the corner as Janna backs off into safety. But the first turret has fallen of the inhibitor variety, and the inhibitor is shortly to follow.
If they do it right, they could end the game here, but I don't think they're going to. They're just going to get this. The safer play would be to get this inhib, clear that low wave with the Xerath, and then back out, because they're going to have that pressure on the top side. The only way this could have been better is if this play had been in the bot side, because Baron has spawned. It is 22 minutes in the game. Baron has been up for 2.5 minutes, and the only way getting that inhib would have been any better was if it had been in the bot side, because they can have that lane pressure on the bot side, force red side to answer that wave in the bot side, making sure that they have priority over this Baron to get the vision and make sure that they can grab the Baron with no contest.
Well,
But they didn't.
given that, though, there's still supers in the top side. It's not 100% lost sort of thing, because they have to consider the fact that these are super minions, right? This is essentially, at this point in the game, a 6th champion, because it's only 23 minutes in. You know, you need 2 to 3 people to deal with that split. So now, worse than me, still holding on to Counter-Strike, a very good timing by him, but the Grand Challenge doesn't matter at this point. He can just get 100 to 0 with only 2 of the vitals procced. Zero to Hero takes another kill. 9 and 2 is his current score, but, I mean, it looks a lot more dominant than that.
Yeah, it sure does. This Jax needs to be able to split push against Fiora, and there is absolutely no way he can do it here. This Fiora is going for the Ravnus Hydra, which is going to give him that epic sustain in lane. You see Freak on this Warwick going down to try and answer on this tower, but he's just going to die too. There's no way that any one person can contest this Fiora at this point. The only way that I can see this Fiora losing the game is going way too hard, but he's teleporting in, and Evelyn taking damage from Baron for no reason.
But the Evelyn just has to stay alive. He's got the rest of his team to take this down as the Warwick near the blue buff. Spotted out definitely by Zero to Hero as he was teleporting in, but we'll see if they manage to bring him down. He is taking quite a bit of damage standing on the backside of this Baron now. They do have to start backing out. Curtain call, ready, Shockwave is actually parried, riposted out by the Fiora. Very close call, but the Warwick ultimate will go through anyway. They bring down 2 as the double kill comes out. Shutdowns across the board. Worse than me, flashing forward, does not get the Counter-Strike landed, and 20, Tyler 20. Barely manages to get out. Arrow not even needed. Korzad missing that out, but now they can turn for Baron. Their Nexus, though, is under fire. This was the supers I was talking about. Even though they got a fantastic fight, they're still losing their base.
Yep, that was a really solid throw by blue side here, but those super minions getting that turret, that was essentially a two kills for turret trade. And that's a Nexus turret among all things. That was a really solid trade there. But it looks like Just Call Me Frost is going to engage on Ty here.
Oh, Ty flashing the ultimate is very good for now, but does get slowed up a little bit. This is the kind of pinch that you got to be worried about. The pinch between yourself and super minions, because you now have a Nexus turret. Only one of them remaining. And it's on very low HP.
Yep. Now you see there that they recognize that the Warwick was bot lane to go for this Baron call. So Zero to Hero teleports in, tries to get it. But you have to remember that blue side doesn't have a tank. They don't have someone to soak up this damage from the Baron, so they're going to be taking a lot of damage, and the rest of the red side were there to contest this for them. But with that, they did give up 2 kills for that turret, and they ended up getting the Mountain Dragon as well. That's going to be even more damage on this Baron. And the champion who's going to have the most impact on killing this Baron is going to be the Ashe. The Mountain Drake buff applies on auto attacks, and Ashe auto attacks a lot on Baron, especially when she gets that passive from her Q. She auto attacks so much on this Baron, applying so much of that true damage on Baron. And the 2 Mountain Drakes is going to add a lot to their DPS and might counterbalance not having a tank here. But it looks like they might get engaged on here.
Oh, it's quite possible. The ultimate has been dropped. Curtains are calling, and this could be their time to shine as they ultimate onto Korzad. So much layering of damage, but Zero to Hero almost brings down Blinding Vision. Not in time. The Bard ultimate completely missing as they tried to turn and run. They do lose both of their most fed members, and now the Xerath. He's the soul carry pounding down this mid lane turret. Just Call Me Frost, though, is on the backside. He takes down Blinding Vision. And this could be TCC looking for a turret of their own. They get another one mid lane, but this is not enough to stop the bleeding. As TEH take 3, they lose even more of their base.
Man, that was a 1 turret trade for 3 kills there. That is definitely not worth it. You don't want to be giving your enemy team any gold when you're this far ahead. At this point, they're only at 5,000 gold now. We'll see the gold graph later, and these throws are really going to make a huge impact because now red side is in this game. They have a very, very good chance of winning this game. It's still blue side's favor. It's still very, very likely that blue side's going to win here. I wouldn't worry about that unless they keep throwing like this. This gold, these kills, these towers are going to start going to each side more, and all red side needs to do is hold out, clear these waves. Their inhib is back up now, so there will not be super minions, but there are 2 Obid inhibitors. There's a lot of pressure and a lot of priority put on these 2 lanes to try and get these 2 inhibitors down. But you see Zero to Hero split pushing in the bot lane to try and grab that last tower in that last inner tower before the inhibitor tower to try and split up the red side here. They're trying to split up the team so that he can just teleport back and do this Baron. But you see that they're not falling for it again, although the Warwick is coming bot again.
I'm not sure it's going to matter right now, though, because Zero to Hero, he's so strong, he could think about 1v2ing as he gets the perfect riposte. Actually gets the Warwick ultimate completely parried off. Zero to Hero flashing over the wall. Now has drawn 2 members over. They turn to try and take down the Baron. Grand challenge is ready. Zero to Hero is he. He wants to get in. He wants to get out. He can't make up his mind, but his team have made up their mind, and they are going to try and take down the Baron. Jhin steals it away with the ultimate. That was the curtain call straight through the Baron. The first shot that he fires takes it away, and all is for naught as TEH take the Baron and steal it from under the noses of the the Chad Crushers. This is insane turn.
That was super well played by Zero to Hero there. He didn't die. He almost got the kill on Worse Than Me here, but man, the rest of the team just absolutely throwing there. They could have as soon as they saw that curtain call come out, they should have stopped doing Baron and sent someone to the other side of the Baron so that someone can body block it. That was very clear to see where it was coming from. Easily stop it from stealing. There's absolutely no way that Jin should be able to steal that Baron. And it's not even like it was a 4-shot to deal the extra crit damage. Oh, we have a disconnect from blinding vision this game. Probably gonna have a pause in a minute, but okay, there we go. That Baron steal was absolutely immense. I don't see any way that Red Side had a chance to win this game
Until now.
until now. There was no way that they were going to win this game if the Baron had gone the other way. But that being said, it isn't as pro as Sneaky's steal with his Deadly Flourish, but still a really good steal for Baron, and keeping them in this game is really, really important right now. They're only 4,000 gold behind with that. That's insane. They're only 4,000 gold behind, even though it's been this dominant out of Zero to Hero and Garbage Fire. And I think a lot of that has to do with this Jin being 50 CS up. That is a lot of gold that this Jin has, where he normally wouldn't have it before if he didn't have that CS. But man, that Baron steal by him was absolutely insane. That my mind is completely blown. It was good of him to recognize that he can do that, but we see a little bit of tense actions going on in the mid lane. Warwick really wanting to go in.
Popping that Banshee's Veil could allow the Xerath to get more poke out. He starts up the ultimate, throwing those barrages down. Actually gets the stun from the Bard. Might get the follow-up kill. Does not decide to fire it out because the Fiora is wreaking havoc in the base of TEH. I mean, Zero to Hero is doing the split push game excellently as they're trying to stop the recalls. The arrow has come out. The Flourish stopping the Evelynn for now, but the Bard ultimate freezes 2 in their tracks, and they could get even further behind now. Securing the kills is all that they want, but the ultimate is not enough to finish them off. Even the curtain call, I don't think, could kill anyone else now as the stun comes out from Garbage Fire. He secures them at least one more inhibitor, possibly more. The parries are on point as Zero to Hero is just going to take 1. He's going to take 2. The double kill. The 4th member about to drop down to the last one between them and the Nexus turret. This should be the ace. This should be the end of the game. 15 seconds on John, the only one between them, and a Game 1 victory as TEH fall victim to the split push, to the Fiora, and to the absolute onslaught of early game damage coming out of TCC.
Really well played, minus that Baron steal. Fiora completely instrumental to that victory there. Good job, Zero to Hero, on that one. But Blue Side does pull it out, and we'll see if they can bring it back in Game 2.
Yeah, game number 2 coming up in just a little bit, but before that, we do have to fix the stream so that we'll go down temporarily as we try to make sure that we can get a proper pick and ban phase for the next game. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.